What's up guys, if you've been on my channel, you know that I have a Nissan 240SX with an LS1 swap, but it's dead. So what I'm gonna try to do this summer is I'm gonna try to revive it. Let's take a look at it. And here's the S14, and you notice I took off the wheels and tires because they were in direct sunlight and I didn't want the tires getting damaged by the sun. Now here's one of my problems. You can see right here, there's a cat that comes and climbs on my car. Now, what do you guys do with your neighbor's cats that keep coming into your yard and jumping on your vehicles? Let me know in the comment section below. Here's the front of the car, and you can see paw prints all over my dusty hood and windshield. I started this project in 2009, finished it in 2011 because I was busy at work, and then drove it for a while until 2013, and that's when I had the transmission issue and fueling issue that I couldn't resolve. So I just put it to rest, and then I got the GTR in 2014. And after getting the GTR, it's just been sitting since. It's kind of like, why are you gonna put money into this when the GTR stock is already fast enough? After a few years and thinking about it, I just figured, you know what, I might as well revive it because it is actually a really fun car to drive around. I also owned a 2001 Chevy Camaro SS, which I sold, and I should not have sold it because that engine was super healthy, but the reason why I did not like it was because it was such a big car and the handling just sucked. I actually owned this 240 at the same time as the Camaro, but I enjoyed the handling of this car and the power of the Camaro, so why not combine both? As in, why not have the handling of this one and the power of the other one? So that's when I started this swap in 2009. And looking on the inside, you can see that I've kind of just used the 240 as storage for a bunch of junk. Here's the intake and the mass airflow, and it's real dusty in here. And if you're familiar with 240SX dashes, they tend to crack, and you can see there's a crack right there. I tend to flock it or place some kind of leather covering over it to make it look nice. Now let's take a look at the hood. And here it is. This is a 2001 Chevy Camaro SS LS1, and it included the T56 6-speed manual transmission with it, which is not going into reverse, so we'll take a look at that in a bit. The 2001s had the LS6 intake manifold right here. It's rated at 325 horsepower and 350 foot-pounds of torque, and it probably dynos around the high 200s. I did all the wiring myself, including the AC unit, which I've disconnected down here, but it was able to work. I know I need to clean this up a little, so I'll be doing that also. I've already disconnected the spark plug wires, and you can see them right here, and I've taken out a few of the spark plugs right there. You can see I'm using a Corvette fuel filter right here, and it feeds off into the LS1 fuel rails. The good part about the 2001 to 2002 LS1 is that they don't have the EGR. They've removed it for those 2 years. And what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna be removing this air stuff because it just clutters up the engine bay. This 240SX was automatic when I bought it, but it already had provisions for the clutch master cylinder right here, which I drilled out and installed the Willwood clutch master cylinder right here. Looking at the transmission tunnel, you can see my twin disc clutch right here, and I've already taken off the transmission a few years ago due to the problem with reverse. I used a Siki LS1 swap kit for the 240SX, and if you look beyond the cobwebs right here, you can see the remote oil filter and the motor mounts are down there. Also, you can see the oil pan right here. I also have an aftermarket Mishimoto radiator, and that's pretty much it for the engine bay. Looking underneath the car, there's not really much to look at because nothing's installed except for all the cobwebs that have been collecting and the jack stands right here and right here that have been holding this car up for several years. And I call my team Jack Stand Racing, and so far I've beaten my friends. So if you have a car that's been sitting on jack stands for over 5 years now, then you clearly have beaten me. And here's the T56 right here, and you can see that the tail housing has already been unbolted and loose, and this was a few years ago. This time around, I'm gonna pull out the housing and take a look at reverse and see what's broken in it. Here's the transmission right here, and let's take a closer look so we can see all the carnage that happened, and you can see metal shavings where the magnets are, and that may be from reverse. I'm gonna try to figure this out, but so far it's looking pretty straightforward. You just start pulling one out at a time, and they seem to be locked in by this C-clip right here. There's a C-clip right behind right here, and there's more C-clips over here. So I gotta go get a C-clip removal tool so that I can pull all this stuff out. I already have a crankshaft puller, so hopefully I can grab onto the gears here and I'm able to pull them out. Fingers crossed that it's just reverse and I'm able to fix this thing. At this point, since I don't have the snap ring tool, I'm just gonna place it upright on some wooden blocks, put the tail housing back on, and place a bag over it so that it doesn't collect dust inside where the gears are. The reason why I'm placing these two pieces of wood underneath the transmission bell housing is because the input shaft right here extends beyond the bell housing, and I don't want this to be carrying any weight from the transmission because it may break or bend the shaft, and that's not a good idea because now you'll be replacing this shaft also if you do that. There are two hurdles in getting this car working again. First is fixing reverse, and second is the fueling system. I hope to get this repaired by the end of summer so I can enjoy it. Let me know what you think about 240SXs with LS1 swaps in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.